National Sales Director, Sue Panko.
Oh my goodness. Well, I cannot tell you how excited I have been to be here in person at our 2024 Minneapolis Career Conference and the Mary Kay Final Four, our final 4 months of the seminar year. So first off, let's show our appreciation for our Mary Kay staff who have taken their weekend to be with us here in Minneapolis all the way from sunny Dallas, Texas. And to all of you, huge congratulations for making it a priority to show up today, most importantly in person, in the flesh, okay, on this beautiful March spring day that I keep talking about, that I keep wondering where it is. Anyway, when you put yourself in the space of those who can stretch and empower you, it gives you the ability to see further than you ever dreamed possible. And someone very smartly said, you don't have to convince a champion to win. And guess what? You are all champions just for being here. And as national sales directors, we want all of you to make sure that you leave here with the tools and the capabilities you need to anticipate, to rise above any craziness, and to thrive in our seminar year end. I am so grateful to have 14 sales directors here at this conference from the Panko Powerhouse National Area and over 75 consultants. Would you please stand? I also want to thank those directors and consultants who drove over from Wisconsin to join us too. So, and how exciting to have 2 top trip-winning directors here in Minnesota. My first line offspring director, who just won the Louis Vuitton purse, future executive senior Lachelle Selesky, and her offspring director, future executive senior Emily Schutte. They were number 1 and number 2 in the state of Minnesota this past year. Our Panko Powerhouse National Area goal by June 30th is to achieve Diamond Circle again and to remain in the top 10 national areas in the Diamond Seminar. And I truly love having my husband, Tom Panko, here by my side today, who came with me to celebrate all of you. And also to carry all my bags. One of my favorite sayings lately is you don't have to be amazing to start, but you have to start to be amazing. Are you all ready to take it to the next level when you leave here today? I hope so. Again, my name is Sue Panko, and for those of you who might not know, I am that friend who Inner Circle National Sales Director Lisa Matson called 37 years ago to see if she thought, and to get my opinion, if she should become a Mary Kay beauty consultant. Well, being the best supportive friend, I said, what are you, crazy? I said, you couldn't sell band candy in high school. Why would you ever want to do Mary Kay? Besides, I said, there's no money to be made in Mary Kay. You see, Lisa Matson and I have been friends since first grade. We went through grade school together, high school together, even roomed together in college. Really bad idea if it's one of your best friends. Don't do that. But we stayed friends, and guess who became her very first recruit? Yep, me, her skeptical friend. She still teases me today that if she listened to me, of course, we'd both still be broke. And because Lisa stepped out of her comfort zone and asked me, we are both national sales directors together. So, if you have a skeptical friend like me, just recruit her. The two of you can then become national sales directors together, right? And I'd like to ask you today, what are you working for and what are you working towards and why? We all have a reason. Is it the money, the fun, the recognition, the financial freedoms? Maybe it's our family or our children or vacations or home mortgages or school and college tuitions. We all work for different reasons, right? But you need to know what those reasons are. Something I've heard said is that those who complete their seminar 2024 year-end goals will not be lucky, they will be prepared. Winners anticipate, losers react. You can lead a horse to water to drink, but you can't, or you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink, right? No matter how thirsty you are, if you don't get up, take a cup from the cabinet, pour the water into the glass, and take it to your mouth, you will remain thirsty. You have to take the necessary steps to succeed. We know we can't always change our destination overnight, but guess what? We can change our direction overnight with just one decision. And let's never forget what a privilege it is to be self-employed in America today and be able to work. It's not pressure, but it's a privilege. Our job in Mary Kay, like Holly Lowe said, is to be a purveyor of hope. We are the sellers of the hopes and dreams. We're the hope givers. There are women out there who are hungry for connections. They're hungry to feel important. They're hungry for an opportunity. They're starved for a win. They're hungry to prove that they are somebody. And we in Mary Kay have the food to provide to them. So who's waiting for you just to ask? And no, we're not responsible for their answer, but we are responsible for the ask. So, some recent stats in our current economy that I've been hearing, the side hustle is no longer becoming optional. Next, 60% of Americans say they would not be able to cover a $400 emergency expense on the spot. And nearly 70% of Americans who are currently working right now are looking for extra work to combat inflation. So, this all means that the average family is only about, listen to this, $400 away from an emergency, accident, or late payment. How many of you in this room have had at least $1,000 week in Mary Kay? Ever? Stand up. $1,000 week. Stand up. Wow. Almost the whole place. Well, do you guys realize, thank you, do you realize that using the Mary Kay 60-40% split, right? That's a $400 profit? Now you might think, well, what would that do? Well, in today's economy, apparently a lot. So, in fact, these days we can sell that $1,000, you guys, at one full circle party, virtually or in person, in an hour or two, right? Remember, your date book can take care of your checkbook. If your date book is full, your checkbook becomes fuller. Again, who's waiting for you to ask? And we're in the final push now, you guys, where great things happen, our final 4 months. You can't be in a TV, around a TV in this hotel or in this town, or in probably your own home without seeing basketball, right? And it's in doing something hard and staying away from the easy or the distractions, it's in the push. Being your best is what opens up doors for your future. How many people left seminar last summer in Dallas with a goal? Now, how many of you have finished that goal in the first 9 months of our seminar year? Okay, my eyesight's not the best, but I don't think I see anybody. Okay, well, if you had, you're like probably in the very elite, not the only one. So, if you get in the habit though of giving up, then you'll become okay with giving up, right? And you will use excuses and you will pull the, oh, you know, well, maybe it wasn't meant to be that we didn't finish our goal. There are 4 types of people when it comes time to get in the game. And boy, there's never been a better time to get in the game, ladies, in our final 4 months, right? Number 1, the looking in. They're indecisive. They say they want it, but they're on the outside looking in. They can't decide whether they're in or they're out. Number 2, the drop in. They lack commitment. They only play when it's convenient. Number 3, they lack resiliency. They start off strong, wow, but they quit when the going gets tough. The number 4, here it is, the all in. They go over, under, around, through, and obstacles to win. They know that struggles make us who we are. So my advice to you, be an all in on your year-end goals that you set back in July. Do not waver. One of the characteristics of committed people is they say out loud what they're committed to. They bring their dreams into reality by simply using the power of words. Words are powerful. I can still remember our original Mary Kay flip chart that we used to have at every skincare party years ago when I was a consultant. And it had a picture of the Mary Kay career car on page 4. Well, for months, as a new consultant, I would flip past that page. I wouldn't let anybody see it. I would purposely skip it because I was too afraid to share. Then finally, I started sharing my story and saying that this is the Mary Kay car that I was going to go on target for. And I did that for 9 months. Every party, week in, week out, week in, week out. And what was I doing? I was ingraining that goal into my brain every time I said it out loud. I will never forget the party that I got to that page and I looked down in surprise and I said, oh my goodness, this is the car I just went on target for. It was like a shock, like, oh, I finally get to change my wording. And then 4 months later, took 4 months to earn a car back then, the party where I got to say, this is the car I just earned. Oh my gosh, the guests went crazy. They all started clapping and cheering for me. What are you saying out loud? I can remember one of my favorite things I heard at Leadership Conference was from our Mary Kay president, Nathan Moore. He said, your greatest contribution to this planet may not be what you do, but who you lead. Great leaders, you guys, don't always set out to be great leaders, but they set out to make a difference. And as you build your teams in Mary Kay, you're becoming a leader. Influencing people happens through our actions, and we learn along the journey and on the way to the destination. Gloria Mayfield Banks says, the mark of a great leader is not how many followers you have, but how many leaders you create. So what exactly is influence? Some people tend to get influence and fame a little confused, especially with all the social media influencers out there in the social media world we live in, right? Well, guess what? You will become like the 5 most people that you hang around with, right? Or the 5 voices you hear or listen to in your head, or the 5 people that you follow on social media. Influence is the ability to impact people's opinions and actions. Fame, on the other hand, is simply to be widely known. If you're famous, you want people to see your moves. If you have influence, you want to help people make their own moves. I don't know about you, but I don't want to just be known or popular. My goal is to help people make positive choices in their lives. Let's be effective and impactful as leaders and future leaders in our company. But speaking of being famous, I gotta tell my favorite story. Harvey is my grandson, and at age 7, he had a moment with my husband this past summer. They hung out at the local park, and on the way home, a lot of people were walking past them to get to the pool. And out of the blue, my grandson Harvey said, all these people are walking past me, and they don't know that I'm famous. Okay, remember, he's 7. My husband said, really, Harvey? How are you famous? To which he answered, I've got famous blood. And then he started to list them. He said, Ashley, and that's my oldest daughter, who's a professional actress, and he's seen her on stage plenty of times, so he, thinks she's famous. And then that other guy, he said, Rudy. Well, he's referring to my nephew, Rudy Panko, from the show Outer Banks. if you've ever seen Netflix, and if you have a teenage daughter, she will know who JJ is. I promise you. I can guarantee that. So, you know, he knows about him. So my husband said to Harvey, well, what about your grandma Panko? That'd be me. She said, she's kind of famous to some people in Mary Kay. And Harvey said, no. He said, I mean super famous. Out of the mouth of babes, right? Well, influence versus fame is when you help others make decisions and take actions that can change their world. Positive influencers are committed to empowering others and are example of the power of working together. And it can have a ripple effect, you guys, in your units as directors and on your teams, consultants. So if you're my leader and I'm not listening, I'm not only listening to what you're saying, but I'm watching how you live, how you work, how you influence others. Also, if you're my leader and you live with discipline and live intentionally with integrity and purpose, what happens? My willingness to follow you and trust you grows and it deepens. But the opposite is true as well. If you're wishy-washy with your goals and your intentions, or you skip the page on the car page, right? My respect for your influence weakens. So let's be bold, you guys, with our goals for the final 4 months. Say them out loud. And for goodness sake, set some goals, right? I challenge you all here today to have a business meeting with yourself when you leave here, okay? I'll do that. Lock yourself in the closet, have a business meeting with yourself. Ask yourself, am I letting something that is a mindless distraction steal my dream? Well, erase and replace what you're saying to yourself. Example, I'll wait till the kids get older. I'll just wait until I have kids. I'll just wait till I have more time. But you guys, we don't get to have success without experiencing some failures, right? And we don't always get to feel good. Remember, you signed up for the hard road the moment you committed to going after your dreams. So maybe it's time to rewrite your script. I promise you, the higher your passion, the less you'll be afraid. And in closing, you know, you guys, a real prize in this business is who you become in the process. And the people you take with you, that is the best prize of all. And Mary Kay Cosmetics has truly been my training ground for the last 36 years. We are so blessed by this company. So start with what you know. Book, coach, sell, recruit. It's as simple as that. And it can take you all the way to National Sales Director. Here's to a seminar well-lived and a future brimming with limitless possibilities. Thank you.